Quentin Tarantino is a thief, a self-proclaimed thief. He was quoted saying, "I steal from every single movie ever made. If my work has anything, is that I'm taking this from this and that from that and mixing them together." But I'll admit that I'm being sensationalist when it comes to the use of the word thief. There is a meagerly thin line between theft and paying respect, but in my opinion, Quentin has masterfully walked the tightrope since the beginning of his career. But my stance on the matter isn't held by everyone. The claims of thievery have followed Quentin like a bad stench, to the point where he's had to brave potential legal repercussion. Towards the end of 2015, a lawsuit was filed by Oscar Colvin Jr. and his son Torrance J. Colvin, who were alleging that Quentin took the idea of their screenplay, Freedom, Tarantinoized it, and made Django. Reading through a slew of articles, it's hard to find the ending to the lawsuit, which kind of leads me to believe that they settled it out of court quietly, and that in itself was a kind of admission of guilt. Anyway, separate from that shady lawsuit, Quentin has been nothing but respectful when it comes to paying homage. In this video, I'll talk about the sometimes overlapping dichotomy of plagiarism and making tribute, and how Tarantino stayed on the right side of it his whole career. The main differentiation between blatant plagiarism and what Quentin is doing is intent. Stealing is inherently opportunistic, like when a film becomes a surprise hit and a cheap knockoff studio hurriedly makes a haphazard copy. It's not because they genuinely love the source material, it's for a cheap buck. Tarantino, on the other hand, grew up in awe of the people he eventually paid homage to. It was organic. He didn't set out trying to reap the praise of the people whose shots he imitated. He's bowing down and giving his resounding approval. The other common thread in all of Tarantino's tributes is that they're classics. Films made by people who've had their careers cemented years ago. It would be ridiculous to even attempt to brand it as his own, because it would be realized immediately. He doesn't take from marginalized up-and-comers. The second blatant truth is that Quentin is good. Wildly good. His grimy, gratuitously violent films, told in unchronological order, is now unanimously seen as his style. There's enough he brings to the table that the odd co-opted shot is allowed. Also, he isn't reprimanded because he never steals major plot points. He would only replicate striking imagery that he thought would fit into his own original film, like the silhouetted man walking into the distance. It also follows the rags to riches story of a former video store clerk with no prior film experience, going on to become the defining voice for film, and then in the end, using the very same shots he used to obsess over in the video store. To wrap up, Quentin is a true lover of film, a filmophile if you will. He incorporates the ideas of others he considers mentors out of admiration, not out of trying to get ahead.
Just remember back when you were in school and stuff, you know, and even in elementary school, there's always, you always have kids that have like a natural inclination towards something. Yeah. All right, some kids is sports, some kids it's study, some kids is cars, some kids is drawing. You know, there's always that kid in the back of the room always like drawing, doing sketches. And with me, it was movies.